Hey everybody, this is that German guy, Josh Runquist, and I'm here with Jon Schaffer from Iced Earth, who's going to be doing a headlining set here at First Avenue in Minneapolis with Sabaton and Revamp. How's it going?
Good, man.
Oh, it's great to see you back in town. We did an interview a couple years ago when you were doing the Volbeat tour.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's good to see you back doing a full headlining set this time around.
Yeah, it's been a couple years since we've been in the States. We've actually been on a pretty massive world tour already, you know. And,
oh yeah.
This is like the fourth show into the North American tour. So.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago you were down in South America, right?
Yeah, we did. Well, we did. Yes. Yeah, we did. We did Europe, Australia, New Zealand, South America, and then now we're here.
Oh, very cool. So how did this tour come about with Sabaton and Revamp?
Well, you know, there's always ideas being floated around, and that's just it's basically between our management agents and, you know, and then something sparks and say, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, and then we pursue it further, you know. But it probably, the talks on this probably started 8 months ago or something. It's been a while. So.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I love this bill. I mean, it's such a great lineup and everything.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I'm really, they're really nice people, and we're, you know, I think it's going to be great. I mean, I've run into the Sabaton guys a few times through the years, you know, but this is the first time we've actually toured together. We've usually done festivals and been on the same bill, and we played their festival in Sweden. I think it was 2 years ago or so. It's kind of all a blur right now, but they have their own festival up in Sweden in Falun, and that was great. They really treated us awesome, so it's cool.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. And of course, you're touring behind the new album, Plagues of Babylon.
Yeah.
How's the reception been so far for the new album?
It's killer, really.
Oh, very.
I mean, the fan base is obviously very fired up, and you know, the band's been working really hard. The last 3 years have been pretty intense, and if you think about everything that we've done and accomplished, and you know, 2 studio albums, a DVD, and by the time we get finished with this, we're going to be at close to 350 live shows.
Oh wow!
In that time, so you know, I mean, it's definitely a schedule that's been intense, but it's been awesome, and clearly the fans are excited.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm one of them too. I absolutely love the new album, Plagues of Babylon. It's such a killer album from start to finish. And I did get to check out the set list and everything, and you're playing a lot of my favorite songs this time around. It's very cool to see. What went into the decision process for the set list on this world tour?
Actually, Michael from Volbeat is kind of the one who came up with the set list. Because you know, when we were on tour in Europe, we just did a massive tour with Volbeat in October and November, part of December last year, and he was in our backstage room, and I was like, man, I don't know what we're gonna do on the headline tour because there's so many records. You get 11 albums out, so to come up with a set list is really challenging. And so he said, man, I'd love to come up with a set list for you, and I was like, all right. See what you got. So he came in a couple days later and he had like 3 full pages of songs, and I'm like, dude, really? Come on, that's like a 4 or 5 hour show. So we sat there together and whittled them down, and you know, we tried a couple things in Europe, and we ended up that we hadn't done in years, or sometime maybe a few songs ever, and it just sort of got massaged into what it is now, and it's cool, you know. I mean, like I said, we want to play a lot of the new record because it's the new record, and it's a really strong record. But there's almost, it's just too much. But that's what makes it killer at this stage in the band's career. We can tour and always have something special for the fans. Always have another, you know, like I'm pretty sure the next album cycle we're going to be bringing Gettysburg back, and that's going to make a lot of people very happy. Because I hear
I'm one of them, absolutely.
You know, last tour we did Dante's Inferno, so which a lot of people were thrilled about. And, you know, but it's not one of those songs, and neither is Gettysburg, where you can do it on multiple tours. It just eats up so much of the set list that you have to rotate things in and out. And now that we're really working like a real band, and really there's everybody's dedicating the time to rehearse the parts and learn the parts, and then we get together and practice them, and it's, you know, it's much more like a machine, so it's cool.
Oh, very cool. And I noticed you got John Denny on drums this time around. How did he come into Iced Earth?
Basically, when he's a fill-in drummer.
Oh, fill-in. Okay.
Yeah, he's just helping us out. He's a great drummer, but he's helping us out. Came in and Raphael did the record, part of the Volbeat tour. Then John came in on the second half of the Volbeat tour and is doing this run with us. And then we'll see. But it's obviously. Brent Smedley's our brother, but he's having personal problems, and the show must go on. So we had to go forward with everything, and so there isn't a permanent position in that right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely a great drummer to have for a tour like this. I mean, he can learn stuff so fast, and it's great to see that he can do the set list that's going on right now.
Yeah.
So I know you got a couple weeks, or at least a few weeks more left of the tour going on here. What's going to be going on after this tour?
Well, we've got festivals in Europe, and then that's kind of everything's a little bit. I have to have neck surgery again.
Really?
In September, yeah. So it's pretty fucked up. I'm having a lot of issues. It's progressively gotten worse in the last 6 or 8 months, and so that's going to happen, and it's going to take probably 6 weeks to recuperate from the operation, and then we definitely have dates planned and some tours already planned for 2015. But as far as after the summer festival season, I think we're just going to be off for a few months. But we deserve it.
Absolutely.
I don't really like the idea of off time being spent recuperating from surgery, but it's kind of the only real window of opportunity I have to deal with it. So,
yeah, I know what you're going through. I just spent half a year going in and out of hospitals for stomach issues, so I can just imagine all the neck problems and everything. I mean, health comes first.
Yeah. Allegedly.
But going back to the new album, is there anything that was left over from the Plagues of Babylon sessions that might come on the feature? No?
Yeah. Not that. Maybe in the demo stage, but I don't like to go into the studio and record a bunch of stuff. It's so much work to get it up to the standard, get the production done, and everything that I don't see the point of producing filler songs. It doesn't make sense. I mean, there's always going to be to me there is a song or two on the album that's what I would say is filler, but it's actually still very strong.
Absolutely.
But to have 1 or 2 songs that are awesome and then the rest of the album be filler is not cool. And during the demo process and the writing process, all of these decisions are made. And Iced Earth has never been a band that will go in and record 20 songs and use 12. I mean, we just don't. I don't do it that way. It takes too much time and energy to make a record anyway. Especially, we don't have the super huge budget, so we got to make the time count when we're doing it. And I don't see the point of developing a weak idea or an idea that's it's okay, but it doesn't make sense.
That's definitely a good way to go about it. I mean, with studio time costing so much money and everything, I mean, you want to be able to write everything that's for the album and just focus on that.
Yeah. A lot of bands do it different, and that's cool, but that's just the way I've always gone about it.
Yeah. Well, it's a good way to go about it. I mean, like I was saying before, Plagues of Babylon is just killer from start to finish, and you can definitely tell there's been a lot of hard work going on with that.
Yeah, like at all of them, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, of course, yeah. I also noticed that you had Hansi singing background vocals on a few songs. How did that come about?
Well, we were recording in Germany, so I've been to Germany countless times, and through all these years, but I never recorded there. So normally when we're recording, whether it's in Indiana or Florida, we have a list of people, backing singers that we can call and do group vocals. But being in Germany, I didn't know anybody, so Hansi was the guy to call, and he's like, hey, I'll do it. And he brought a friend of his, and it's killer. So that was great. It was, that's one of the things about Plagues that's so special to me is I've really got my best friends in the music business on this record, like Hansi, Michael from Volbeat, Russell Allen from Symphony X and Adrenaline Mob. It's killer. So it's like a really special thing.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I noticed that too. I mean, it feels like one of those albums as well. I mean, especially with the guest vocalists and everything going on there.
Yeah.
It might be too early to say, especially since we were talking about the neck surgery coming up, but is there any chance of any more Demons and Wizards in the future?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. The biggest issue for me is time, and it's also an issue for Hansi. But we have a very intense touring schedule, and that's the thing is with Demons and Wizards, we really need like a year of time to write the songs, produce the songs, go on tour, because the demand is there for a tour for sure, and worldwide. I mean, so I can't really. The band has been working so hard, Iced Earth has, that I don't think it's really fair for me to say, okay, guys, we've been busting our asses now. I'm going to take a year and go focus on this, and I don't want to do it like where it's just filling holes of time. And I think the continuity will be fucked with a little bit, and I also think that it needs to be like Demons and Wizards has set a standard, and we have to live up to that standard. And I don't want to do a rush job on it. I don't want to overthink everything either, but I need to be focused in that moment, and so that Hansi and I can really get the best out of each other and make it the best record possible. Which it will happen. There isn't any immediate plans on the table, because like I said, there's a lot going on in Iced Earth world right now that's pretty big. So
absolutely.
And it is about somewhat of a priority issue at the moment. So there's a lot of things. I mean, Demons, Sons of Liberty. There's a project Michael and I are going to do together. We've already got.
Really?
We've already got a plan, and it's very cool. But again, I don't know when it's going to be, but working with Michael, I think I can see us doing it when we have time.
Yeah.
Because it's a new thing, so we haven't already set the standard. We haven't set the bar.
Right.
I mean, it's going to be killer.
Oh yeah.
That's not what I'm getting at. But once you establish yourself and that Frankenstein gets created, then you have to really push even harder to beat it with the next one. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's a different kind of a thing than what Hansi and I would do. Hansi and I think we do the best work when we're sitting in the same room together writing, and going back and forth. I think that's the coolest way.
Absolutely. I'm definitely looking forward to all of those projects that are coming up in the future. And of course, seeing you play tonight here at First Avenue.
Cool, man.
Yeah, I still remember the first time seeing you guys back in 2008 at Station 4, and then being able to see you guys again here.
Somebody mentioned that at meet and greet earlier. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I mean, we do hundreds of shows a year, so it's kind of all becomes a bit of a blur.
Yeah. It's a bit of a smaller place than First Avenue, so I'm glad to see this kind of venue for these guys, and how many people have showed up already. I mean, I could picture it selling out tonight.
It'd be cool. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that, but it's very possible.
So just to wrap things up, is there anything else that you'd like to bring up that I've not brought up yet?
No. We covered a lot, man.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks for taking the time to do this interview. It's an honor to do another interview with you, and can't wait to see you play in just a little bit.
Cool, man. No worries, man. All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Once again, this has been Jon Schaffer from Iced Earth, and this is that German guy, Josh Ronquist. Thank you.